Just unloaded the wood from yesterday, from where I got stuck and all that jazz. So, pretty small pile, but it was just stuff that was laying around. So I'm going to start filling up this side so we can season for the year. I still have a fair bit, really. I'm going to start slowing down burning, I hope, because winter is just going to have to let it go. Alright, so some of this stuff I'll split and I'll start stacking it. It's getting close to beer time, but I haven't earned my beer yet. I've done the dishes, I made some bread, I made lunch, I washed the floor. Bunch of things. Got the Jeep ready and the trailer prepped up and hooked up. I aired up the tires. Cause I'm going to town tomorrow, get some supplies and get rid of this cardboard still from moving. And then I can dump the sand that's in the bottom of the trailer and pretty well have the trailer empty and ready to do for use. Mostly for firewood and stuff. So the trail I was stuck on, to just the lighting here, it's a little bit sunny, but not really. That's not bad. The trail is over here, just in that gap of the trees. That's where I was stuck. It drops down fairly steep onto a little access road trail thing. I'll stay out of there till it thaws out a bit. But I've got all this area here. It's kind of an eyesore, and so is this. There's quite a bit of area to be taken down. So I'm gonna use the steel, the 111, FS 111. That's a nice machine. Gonna use this brush cutter head. It's got the grass trimmer too, but that's not gonna do it for what I'm doing here. I'm going to pick up a saw blade for it too, so I can get through some of the bigger things. But this blade's pretty powerful. Let's get at her, because I feel like it's some beers later. It's 4:30. I'm stopping here. Doesn't look like I've done a whole lot, but I've kind of went in between the bushes. I'm going to keep some of them. Let's see what they're actually all about once they bloom. And just cleaned up this area a bit more. Went to the edge, that barbed wire fence. That fence line is not property. Obviously the trail I was on yesterday is below that. So there's a little bit more property, another 100 feet before the road. That's an old little schoolhouse. Or we found out so far it was a residence of a teacher that worked at the schoolhouse, which was just up a little ways up the valley. Or not very far at all, apparently. So I'm not sure what we're going to do with this. I mean, I don't want to have to keep cutting it back if we're not going to use it, but it's not a bad area, actually. It'd be okay for a fire pit and stuff. We'll see how this grows in, if it's going to be just a lot of upkeep with thorns, and I don't want to have to dig all that crap out. So, anyways, I'll take out the rest of that a little bit. Save the evergreens that are in there that I can find, and that outhouse is going to have to go. And then we'll come on this side. Same thing. It's quite a bit of space here, so that's probably another 5,000 square feet here for sure. Probably more. But I think I've earned my beer. Maybe not very many. But some days are like that. This is melting out nicely, even though it's been kind of cold, minus 10 or 13 overnight. But it's getting there. The beds in the garden are starting to show. As soon as the soil's exposed on the beds, the snow melts pretty quick. Birds. The Junco's been here for a couple of weeks, and these guys are hungry, man. It's like all you can eat. They just go for it. I've got a little bit of sun left. For an hour or two, actually. And it's fairly warm, and it's not windy. Grab a chair. Chill out. Having a beer. I'm going to have sun for a bit, because it rides along that ridge. Along the treetops. And then It gets higher and higher in the sky as the months go on towards summer. So pretty quiet out here. There is a road down below, but it's just for residents. It doesn't really go through. It does get busy when people go to town and do their panic shopping. But when there's no cars around, it's quiet. Feels like we're being noisy just walking. I can hear the washing machine in the house. Yeah, it's just us and the birds. It'll be pretty cool when this place turns green. I'll be even more busy. I'm out trail clearing again. What else is new? I just moved a couple of small bits up here. But this tree I looked at the other day, I had the Jeep running across our lower trail here. If that tree is in good shape, it'll be okay. A little bit of good firewood there, and it's close to the house. Looks like it might be rotten. There's been a lot of woodpeckers going at it or something. So maybe it's not that dense, might not be any good. Let's cut into it and check it out. Quite unfortunate, but it's rotten. No good. The saw went through it like it was just like a marshmallow. Kind of a new spot for me. I was just down that way yesterday with the Jeep, and then there's a bit of a clearing. You get through all these old trees, dead trees, I mean, little dead trees. And then it kind of goes up here, but it looks like there's a bit of a clearing. I haven't been up that way yet, actually. Not really that way either. I've played over in here a bit. I cleaned up a bit of a trail. So let's go check this out. It's gonna take a walk up without the saw. Again, on the side, right here is a very well-defined game trail. Looks like it just heads up that way. General area I was heading to anyways. So I'll clean this up. Maybe the deer will start using it again, because it was trucked in pretty good. Got the trailer finally backed into a spot where we can dump the rest of the sand. I'm gonna put on this tarp and just kind of cover it up. Kind of out of the way. Not in sight. Wifey splitting wood. And now the trailer will be ready too to get wood. There's a few trees I've seen off site we can drive out to. Definitely another nice day. Cold start, so -12. But it's pretty well t-shirt weather now. Especially after doing this stuff. Got the trailer cleared out. And got some wood. And we're done our chores. We're just gonna do nothing at nothing camp. This is our new nothing camp. Terrible things go on here. No, it's not nothing camp. There's lots to do camp, but we are going to do nothing for a little bit. Just chill out. Sun's warm. Things are thawing out. Greenhouse is getting hot. It is pretty warm. You know, getting rid of light? I was just in my t-shirt working away. It's not quite t-shirt weather, but man, there's no wind, so it's pretty good. I think Monica managed to get most of the ice off the concrete deck section there. So I think we'll move the picnic table out that way. I'm gonna start having lunches and breakfast outside. So this section of the deck is right in front of the sunroom. So that'll be kind of nice. You can just go inside there if it gets too windy or cool. But on a day like this, you can just set up out here. Nothing wrong with that. We actually have our own ice caves on the property. Right here. I'm shoveling all the stuff. What's in there, Reno? Go check it out. Here.
Where'd it go?
Good job. Our first lunch outside. Got some cretons, cretins, whatever you want to call them, which is a pork spread I make. Kind of a sausage. Kind of a sausage thing. Gonna put on some hippie bread.
Spinach salad.
Spinach salad with croutons and homemade garlic dressing.
And apples and avocado and walnuts.
This is what we're talking about. Cool.
Suffering.
It is a bit cool, but it's warm enough. Warm enough to be in the t-shirt weather. Oh yeah, here we go. Nice. It's been a little bit of a lazy Saturday. Taking advantage of the warmer weather. I'm gonna come back down here and work on this mess here. I'm gonna knock it back some more. I'll leave some of the bushes, but I want to be able to walk through it a little bit, so I'll just do a couple of walkways and then let it grow, and we'll evaluate in the summer what we're gonna keep and what else I'm gonna take down. I'm thinking I'll take a change to a line trimmer, and I think I'll take this grass down. I'll probably let this grass grow, but I'll just get this knocked down. That'll speed things up a little bit. We're down on the other acreage. We haven't been here in quite a while, actually. Mostly because it was all snowed in and ice. So it's across the road, and then there's a little gate here. And then, so it's about this chunk back to the house, that little schoolhouse thing. Still not exactly sure on the property. Fencing. There is a fence up here. It's open. So the horses have been in here quite a bit. But yeah, not exactly sure where the actual property perimeter is. How far out it goes this way. But it's 1.4 acres. It's not a whole lot. But it's just pasture. And I'll try to put a runway in here for the planes. So I'll be doing my flying down here with the larger aircraft. All the dogs love it. Run, run, run. Come on, Reno. Go see Mom. We're just roaming around the lower acreage here. The house is just up here. The little schoolhouse is just out of sight. When you get to the fence line here, it gets a little sketchy. Pretty cool, so awesome views. That is insane. Wow. It's a huge pile of whatever ants these are. Busy guys, right at the bottom of this bush. We actually went down to visit our other neighbors, Marianne. Yeah, we did our social distancing, 5 meters, 10 meters. She's got a 50-acre parcel down by the river. Got a couple of horses here. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Oh, no. Reno's not so sure if he agrees with horses. Huh? I don't think Reno has never met one yet. Right? What do you think of the doggy? What's your nose? Want the phone? Check it out. Yeah. There's another horsey. Was it Indian what? Hi. How you doing? Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. Shush. All right. You good? You sure? Let's get a couple of shots. Good little spot down by the river. All right, we're heading back up to the house for lunch. Just clean the chimney one more time. That really gets things going. I'm gonna try this slope again. I haven't had much luck in here. I keep doing something else. It's pretty shrubby in here. I want to get down to the fence and maybe the other side a little bit. It's pretty messy. This side too. I'll just take it down a little bit. Where I'm standing is actually fairly flat, so you can maybe make a pathway here. Late afternoon trail clearing. Monica's ready to help out. So now the snow is kind of almost all gone here. Right behind Monica is a trail she just walked that connects actually to something we've already got going. And I started on this and I took it down here. But we're going to do a little bypass and follow this old deer trail. So I'm just going to knock off that little bit. About 5, 6, 7 trees. A couple of small ones just sitting here. So we'll clear that up. And eventually this will actually be good for mountain biking too. Heading off site this morning. I'm going to go back to a stand of trees that I found on the side of the road. Looks like they're got damage from the burn we had here years ago, so they are dead. And I'll try to get a couple of them. Got the back of the Jeep loaded up, and we hooked up the trailer. I'm gonna head out solo today, so I gotta be extra careful. There's no communication there, cell range or anything, so yeah, falling and bucking is going to be extra careful today. So I'm going to head out right now, and I kind of looked at these in person already just to evaluate how to deal with them safely. Now, if I can get them down, I'll be able to load this trailer up probably 2 times with just what's there. With 2 trees, I think. I'm at the spot where there's a fair bit of trees now. People have been in here and picking out the best ones, obviously. So what's left is becoming more and more difficult or less quality. So I passed on about 2 or 3 already. There's just issues with them. They're gonna get hung up, they're gonna roll out weird or fall in the wrong direction. So I'm gonna go for a couple smaller ones for a warm up. It's windy too. I'm gonna see how that affects things. And I'll go from there. But yeah, well, like I said, most of the good ones have been taken. And what's left is you really gotta put some thought behind it and walk away if you don't like it. These are kind of small, but they'll make some good rounds or half rounds. I had to take that one out just so I can get a clear fall line. This one here is kind of smallish, but it's in a clear now. I've got a good falling path, so I'll drop that over here too. I guess I haven't been backpacking, or we haven't done anything really as far as hiking, except for on the property and stuff. So this is my backpacking exercise. You can see the Jeep in the background. It's probably 50 to 75 meters where the wood is. So I gotta pack all the pieces out by hand right now. I was gonna hook up the winch, but these trees aren't that big, so I can carry it and keep in shape for sure. Gonna spend a couple hours in here and then head back. I might come in tomorrow. This one here is pretty decent. This is pretty decent. Actually, there's two. This one, and we can see that one. Gonna double check the lean and the wind. If I can get those two and winch them out too close to the ditch and then just buck them up, I'm in good shape then, yeah. Because walking back and forth is all great. For a little while. I don't have much left in here, so it's gonna... Actually, I think half an hour I'll be done with the wood I cut. So that's awesome. I might take another one down yet. I think I'm gonna take this one. It's only about a foot across. Branches aren't too bad. Smallish. It's got good length. It's pretty tall. And I can get this close to the road here. I can get the trailer over here. Came down beautiful. It's kind of a small hinge, but that direction was bang on. Exactly where I wanted it. Have to be a little bit careful how I load this trailer. If I get too much weight in there, I have a problem because I've kind of straddled the ditch a little bit. Might high center it, pulling it out. So I'm going to pull it out now and then back up and get the other load from a little bit further back. So when I was straddling the ditch, somehow I managed to hit this, I'm not even sure what it is. I think it's a vapor canister of some sort for the fuel, which just has a weak bracket on it. Well, I pushed it over into the friggin' drive shaft, and it chewed up my boot all the piss. So I've bent this back a little bit, but this keeps flopping around, making a heck of a noise. But that boot's toast. So. Good thing I got the old Rambo knife with me. I think I was going to slice that little part off and call it a day, and probably order that online, hopefully. With the amount of driving I do, I think this will be okay. Wifey, finish her shift. Got a mug of beer, chips, pretzels, dogs.
Brown sweat everywhere.
That's what the chair is for. Got a bunch of sun left. It'll sit to the right. About that hydro pole somewhere. Well, I got a beer too. It's a good day. Worked hard. Pretty exhausted actually. Still have to unload the wood because I'm going in the morning again. But get him out of here. Reno likes to just kind of pace between the beers that are on the ground. Can't have that. No accidents here. Beer's too hard to get. Yeah, good hard day. Checked up in the greenhouse and garden. Garden's melting out. I can start seeing where the irrigation all is, because it's a bit of a mystery. Went for a walk, checked the game cam. It went off 18 times because it was windy. Awesome. So I've got lots of trees.
Really? So bad, I get it.
Yeah, grab that one. Come on. Here we go, man. Next year's supply. Starting to pile up. A little bit at a time. You can do it. It's a decent size. I'll make some good firewood for sure. It's got a bit of a bow and a lean to it. Have to check into this thing a bit. That tree I was looking at had a whole bunch of fungus and mushroom things on the bark and lots of woodpecker holes. I suspect it may be a bit rotten. That sized tree, if it's rotten, can get you into some serious crap. So I'm gonna pass on that. I might sink the saw into it and still have a look at the sawdust. If it's all brown, it's probably toast and not worth playing with. So I'm gonna take out, this is a pretty small tree, it's maybe 10 inches, but it doesn't have any burn on it, which is kind of messy. It gets all over you because it is a burn section. So it looks like it's pretty clean, and it's not much for limbs, so it's a real quick buck up and load up. Not much for delimbing, so we'll start with that and then see what else I feel like. Some days you go in and everything's just fine. You pick good trees, everything comes down. Some days it's like, you start second guessing a lot of this stuff because it can get hung up. Again, I'm solo. No service out here. Very little traffic on this road. So we'll keep it simple. It felt like it was going to be rotten. It was throwing some pretty brown dust, but I think it's pretty solid. It fell perfectly. Right down the middle. Perfect. I'm debating whether I should get the Jeep. It's pretty close to the road, really. But I'm almost tempted to hook onto it with a winch and get it nice and parallel to the road. It'll just be a buck and toss into the trailer. Or walk it out. I guess it's not that much wood. I could probably just load the trailer. I'll just walk it out, I think. It's not that big of a deal. That tree was a okay load, really, for its size, but I can't go home with that, so I'm going to have to double the load for sure before I head out. To finish off the day, I think I'll take this one. It's got a good lean toward the road already. That one's okay. Lots of branches, so. That's that. Went exactly between the two trees. It took another one down with it that was dead in front of it. That's fine. You took the front one out, which there's a little bit of salvageable wood in there, I guess. And the crown is just touching the ditch. So that's all right. Happy with that. Nothing on the road. So after cutting about 10 pieces, the saw jammed. I thought I had some twigs in the rear gear. But there's something wrong with the clutch, I think. It's actually completely seized. It's running, but it won't turn. So I'll have to take it apart and see what the hell's going on with it. So I gotta leave all this mess here. Nothing I can really do about it. I'll come back in the morning. I do have the other saw here. I got the pull on, but it's kind of late in the day. So I'll just take this load home and see if I can fix that saw. If not, I'll use the pull on tomorrow and finish up. I went to town to get fuel for the Jeep. I was getting a little bit low on fuel. I took the saw to the dealer that I bought it from because I just drove by it. I talked to Chip at the forestry place there, the owner. And we took it apart real quick, and I managed to get a long twig into the chain bar guide somehow, and it completely just jammed it. There was so much friction on it. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with the saw or the clutch or anything. It was just a bit of a weird weird thing to happen. Anyway, so I'm just gonna clean up the rest of the wood I left behind. Bit of a mess. And then at least I can get a full load. Because I don't have a whole lot in here actually at all. That's all I managed to get, so let's take the rest of these couple of trees and have a beer. Have a beer. You can't have a beer out here? Who said? This is out here. Things are different. I'm gonna have a beer. I think I'll call it a day here. I got the rest of that stuff. I'll be here tomorrow anyways. I'll clean up this crown and get rid of it. It's kind of unsightly. I don't like to leave a big mess here. So the trailer is not full, but that was it for those trees. I got the top off the Jeep, the front section anyways, to make it a little Targa. It's been 15 degrees, I think it's 13 now, but that's pretty decent. And we get so little precipitation here, I don't have to worry about it getting soaked overnight, because it's not like the coast where you get rain, 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 and unannounced rain. So we'll be all right. If it does rain, I'll put it underneath the woodshed, the workshop lean-to. Time to get out of here. I love this drive. It's pretty cool. Rarely see any cars. Just take your time. Check out the fields and the animals. Good cattle ranch. The deer love it too. Lots of calves right now. Lots of newborns. Pretty cool drive. So these deer, this is like a zoo out here. They're pretty tame. You really gotta gotta watch your speed here, because you don't hit them. There's one was taken down just yesterday, I think. He's a bit skittish, but he's all by himself. He's not too worried about it. Mosey on. So yeah, it's like this here all the time. You just gotta watch your speed. All right, pretty good drive. Good day for top off for sure. It's still so warm.